wait. And we are live. What is going on, guys? I am Flint Masters, and welcome to episode 2 recap of Hell's Kitchen season 24, Battle of the States. And I am so excited to be joined by two of definitely the most loved chefs in a otherwise pretty pan season. And but yeah, first to join us is who was unfortunately the first boot in this season, but spoiler, he has a lot to say about that, as I'm sure some of you guys know. Welcome aboard, Pat. It's a pleasure to meet you. How are you doing?
Fantastic. This is an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much. And you put me on with my bestie, Kimberly.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. And speaking of, as you can see, probably the fan favorite of season 16. I am so honored to be joined by the lovely Kim. Kim, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you guys doing?
It's great to be here. Yeah, we're glad to have you two on.
Yeah, they fixed the comment section, so I'm more visible now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Cool.
Are we allowed to drink on here? Because I need my wine.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't care. Yeah, hold on. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Who remembers when Brittany was semi-drinking when she was on here?
I do kind of remember that. Hey, if you're at home, I don't care. If you're driving, don't drink.
All right. Yeah. Awesome to see Kim and Pat for sure. Yeah. So while we wait for Kim, I'll ask her. But Pat, what you been up to since almost 10 years since the show? What you still been going on in your life?
I just opened up a restaurant. Got a restaurant in West Caldwell, New Jersey, called Garden State Tavern. And it's all themed New Jersey flavors. It's a sports bar and tavern. We've been doing pretty well so far. Opened up in the summer, which is a little tough, June 1st. But it's nice, thank you. So yeah, that's that's keeping me busy, and I'm still doing food service sales. So I'm now selling food to restaurants as well. So I'm keeping very, very, very busy, and every now and then I text my girl Kim and see how she's doing up north. She's rocking it up there, the sushi queen. Yes. I'm doing really, really well. First boot, whatevs. We're good.
Yeah, trust me, guys. Me and Pat, with the five of us before Kim came, we were talking. Pat has a lot to say about that elimination. I've already for those of you guys who watch my videos, I've been pretty vocal about how BS it was. But we're gonna go full in depth on that for sure. So stay tuned for that, guys. But yeah, and Kim, same question for you. How's it all been since Hell's Kitchen? How's your life? Been almost a decade now. It's crazy.
Yeah, so my daughter is now almost 15. I have my own business. I have a food truck in Sodas Point. I was just named the top 10 road trip destination in New York State by Eat Local New York, who's a really big food blogger here on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. So I'm pretty proud of that. I've been on my own for 6 years, looking for restaurant space. And just living life, doing my best and, changing people's opinions one bite at a time about me kind of thing. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Pat and Kim aren't the only two new people that join us. Well, he's not new, but he couldn't meet with us last week. But coming back, Gumball, how are you? What do you think of Premiere? And what do you think of the chat? I think of all things, chat actually picked a pretty good team for you. What do you feel?
So actually I haven't even seen my draft team yet.
Your
do you
draft team
have it on?
Is as follows. You got the public picked for you John, Jada, Henry, and Jaden. And because you were circumstantially the last pick, you got Sal with Carlos, who was the first boot, but I didn't want to take. Honestly, I wasn't all that fond of Paul, but surprisingly, you did terribly with that stuff.
Yeah, that was a big shock. We'll get into that premiere as well. But yeah, and of course, you got our other two co-hosts here. I see some chats, so I'll get to you real quick. But Jem and Ultra, how are you two doing? What do you think so far?
Jem, go first.
I'm both happy and sad with the premiere end because the boot was it wasn't an obvious Chase goes home and therefore the person who was the second worst in the or one of the worst in the second challenge there, because I didn't see the worst dishes of the second challenge. Sadly, I had to miss that for something else. But anyway, it's nice to see that the person who was the second worst in that challenge did not get the second boot. Also, whose mic is that? Anyway, that was nice. But then on the other hand, it's like the person who did go home second was my third pick. So that's unfortunate.
I'm upset that the person that went home last was from New York.
Yeah.
Fair.
She was representing, and I'm in New York.
Yeah, well, to be fair,
Woo!
New York gets represented all the time, so no biggie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's not wrong. Me, I'm kind of happy that for a second year in a row, I'm killing it when it comes to picking chefs who win the punishment pass. Like last season, I got both of them, and this season, I got both of them. I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Also, again, I was expecting Paul to also be maybe good if Scooby went home, and again, he just somehow doesn't. Impressively, Cat gets eliminated despite her being in my draft. I'm like, didn't do that coming either, but whatever. We still got a lot of season to go for this.
For sure, yeah. Before we get into the episode, I got some comments already. So yeah, guys, the best way, I'm sure you'll be a lot of comments, so the best way is if you give these super chats I can know some comments. So, Kim and Pat, who are your favorite chefs to work with in season 15? I'll start with you, Pat.
So for my favorite chefs to work with team, Kim is undisputedly my favorite chef in the whole kit. She's my bestie. On my team, Aaron was really cool, but again, really new, kind of green. We called him Shorts because he had the crazy dolphin shorts on for the first service.
Marlin. They were Marlin. They weren't dolphin. They're Marlin.
Oh yeah, Marlins. I didn't get that close to his crotch.
Neither did I, but I knew they were Marlin.
Clearly. Yeah, I mean, really.
He did throw himself naked in the hot tub, remember?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, I remember that.
It was gross. Gross.
But my team was just so difficult. Like, Devin was cool, but he really screwed me in the elimination banter as well. So, I had a little issue with that. I mean, Aaron was probably just the most benign out of the whole team, so...
Are you calling him a tumor?
Smog the cock, that's a good one.
You calling him a tumor? Benign, cut it off.
And Kim, same question for you.
It's a joke.
Same question for you. Who was your favorite on the red team to work with?
Me?
Yeah.
Was it Gia?
Heidi. I love Heidi.
Yeah.
Kimberly, Ryan. I loved a lot of my teammates. There were a few that if you don't do prep work and you're out like smoking and whatever, like you're automatically like that. Yes, I hate Gia. I still to this day hate Gia. If I saw her in the street, I'd probably punch her in the face. I don't like her. She sucks. She was not a team player. She was just not a good person. Initially, I felt bad for her in the beginning because she had that sad story, which I'm not going to disclose. It's her story. But I felt bad for her. But then when I saw her, I didn't care. She sucks.
I'll feel for you. Like this woman is a piece of work.
No one who said this people. No way. It was garbage.
For what was?
Gia's Sig Dish. She had.
Oh God, mine was awful. I got one. I just got tagged in a video today on TikTok by someone that does videos on there. And he was like, "Oh, you gave me a forewarning in my messages. Oh, just let you know." And it was me with my Sig Dish and my canned clam broth.
Give me clams. Give me clams.
Shut
That's
up.
a mafia name.
Give me a can of Centos all day, and they're delicious. I don't care.
But Kim, one question. What point did you go from, I feel bad for Gia, so I'll tolerate it, to, nope, I can't take it anymore?
When I fell in the oven, and you'll see me bandaged up before, like when we were fighting, I had bandages. Everyone's like, oh, they made you cover your tattoos. No, I fell into a 500-degree oven because Shayna was burning her salmon. So I went to save it, slipped and fell, burned my things, and then she faked a cut. And
they didn't show that?
Yeah, still trying to make it through service, and then she fakes a cut, and I was like, I was done. And that was the night me and her got in a fight. So, yeah, I'm done.
And you were actually fighting with her while you had that injury. You are badass.
No, did you see? Like, you'll see me all bandaged. Like, the medics took me back, and I was like it was first-degree burns. It wasn't but it hurt. But I still tried and kept, not crying. I was trying to cry, but I'm fighting tears. And then she's faking a cut because she's screwing up her food. And it's like, what are you doing?
Well,
I made a video on top 10 injury comebacks in Hell's Kitchen. Can I add you on there now?
No. I went to the hospital? I ended up getting a massive infection in my foot where they had to cut the top of my foot open. And I was not able to go down the adult slide with the balls. Matt actually went down for me because I'd been in the hospital all night. And they had to put a tube inside my foot for drainage for a week.
Man.
So that was on top of the burns. People don't know that because the girl who Ariel before me, she'd broken her foot. So I think they want to repeat that story of someone's hurt foot. So it kind of got delayed and edited out of the whole season. But yeah, California hospital care sucks. Not gonna lie.
Also, they kind
It
of
doesn't surprise me.
Also, they kind of ruined. They kind of like. You do have a point about the foot story. Like if they had Ariel, and then like a number of seasons before they had what's his face, Kevin Cottle.
Yeah.
It would be a bit much.
And G, our buddy G.
Oh yeah, G. You're right.
She hurt her knee, and like Pat and I are very good friends with G. I absolutely love her. But yeah, she injured herself as well. So I think they just, like I said, they're all about the storyline on Hell's Kitchen. That's the one thing that I've realized early on. And I think that's why I made it as far as I did, because I wasn't supposed to make it as far as I was supposed to.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you did prove yourself before you went.
Yeah. Supposed to be there a couple episodes, and you like her, and then you're like, but I caught on because I'm not stupid. But, yeah.
So let me ask you, because the general question. I already kind of asked Pat about this, and Kim, I don't know how. I guess I'll ask you. Are you aware of the fact that season 16, despite the fans loving you, is a pretty pan season? Do you do these characters, or is that kind of a new thing to you?
No, I mean, I think everybody. It's the entire Hell's Kitchen is everyone's a character. We're all put into a certain. You know what I mean? Like Amanda. Like in season 15, Amanda, she's me. We had the flower in her hair.
Yep.
And they all have everyone's a cast. You have this person. It's like the episode of Clue where you're playing Clue. It's like Professor this, Professor that. We all fit a character, and it's a show. It's a show.
Sure. So with that said, because I know the chat, obviously the reason why it is so hated is because a lot of unlikable characters like Gia, Johnny, Matt, and Andrew. So I'll ask you guys both, and that way the chat won't have to ask. So I'll start with you, Kim. Just kind of give me your general thoughts, especially concerning what all you had to deal with from those blue team assholes, right? Is there what's just your overall thoughts? If you want to go in on one person, hey, don't hold back. Just what are your overall thoughts on this blue team?
So I think, unfortunately, there was a bunch of toxic masculinity, and everybody honestly was trying to make up for it. You know what I mean, with their cooking. And I'm not trying to put down people with but that's unfortunately they were trying to overcompensate for something in their lives, and that's why they came across such assholes. I knew that going into a reality show. I had a business. People are going to watch me. People are going to see me. My kid, I'm a mom. She's going to see this. It's going to live. It's going to be epitomized. Hell's Kitchen does not die. YouTube, the World Wide Web, everything is there forever. I'm not going to act like an asshole for the world to see and know that it's going to be there 20 years later. Unfortunately, a lot of people, especially on the blue team side, did not have that mentality. It's sad, it's sad because I look at it now and even 10 years later, I'm like, wow, what a dick.
Yeah, Scotty, I got to give you credit because people would say Matt looks like a dollar store M&M, but you say
like dollar store Pitbull, actually.
Okay, fair enough. Because give Scotty some credit. He just says Matt, aka Russell Cook from season 8. If you were a Redditor,
Matt was terrible.
Ooh, that is harsh. But he's right.
I was calling M&M the whole time.
Gossip. Ready? Gossip? Coop.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this. Matt was the 10th person kicked off. Matt should have been in the finale. Matt got sent to the respite house and threatened all the our production assistants.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't come back. Yeah.
I think I knew of that.
He had to burn the house down so he could smoke weed. They wouldn't let him smoke weed, so they sent him home and threatened to arrest him. So then they brought Coop in. Coop was 11th. That's
Yeah.
why Coop was in the finale, because Matt was such an asshole and threatened to kill everybody and burn the house down.
I believe that because when I
It's
saw
true.
that Matt was
That's
not.
right.
It happened.
Yeah, because when I saw that Matt didn't come back in spite of making the gift phase, I was like, you know what? I think something happened. He got physical with somebody, or he threatened somebody, and I was like,
Yeah.
not
The
surprised.
staff. He threatened the
So
staff.
literally
2.0.
walked into the airport. Like he was escorted to the airport immediately.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Pat. So you're saying that you stay there as long as Heidi stays there at the hotel?
No, I was there for about a week. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I was hanging out. I was going to Venice Beach. We had our babysitter, one of the production assistants. I cooked for him. He wanted lasagna. I said, "Come on, let's go to the store." I made him a big lasagna for the whole week for him.
Did you make him a
And,
risotto with salt?
Never gets
that's
old.
like
Never
asking
gets
me to
old,
make
does it?
Tortorello
Yeah.
clams.
That's all right.
But
Good
yeah,
job.
but anyway.
That's why you're a bottom, Jem. That's why you're a
Power
bottom.
bottom. Power bottom, Pat.
Yeah, risotto power bottom. Good job.
But yeah, anyway,
So-
Pat, kind of. Oh, sorry, you can go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna, I stayed there for a week, just in case they needed to do any, clips. We did the full cast photo, which never got released. That was fun. Chef Ramsay wasn't even there. Yeah, just like anything that they might have needed in post production to reshoot, I had to be available to go back on set. So then when that kind of cleared out, then I fucked off home.
Yeah, on that note, because we were talking before stream, so chat, get ready for this. And for those of you guys who have watched my videos, you guys know I've been pretty defendant of Pat too, how BS elimination is. But Pat, why don't you just go off and tell how just BS elimination was, being the first bit of 2015?
Oh, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said, it seemed like it was kind of tracked for Matt and Gennaro to both go up for a limb.
Gennaro, R.I.P. R.I.P.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Here
Yep.
goes Ultra. There you go.
So, they were the absolute two weakest chefs on the team. Don't even want to call them chefs, but they were the two weakest people cooking on the team. So they put them on a difficult station for them to implode, which they did. They both imploded, and my tirade in the elimination to Chef Ramsay was pretty epic, and they clipped a lot of it. I said with all the seafood that they killed, they created like 4 new endangered species just from their poor cooking.
Good.
Why did they get rid of you? You're funny.
Okay, Pat. So what
Yeah,
did
so-
Andrew do?
Yeah. So then, when we were all screaming at each other back in the dorm, Drew was putting me up. It's like there was one little issue with the risotto. So what happened with the risotto was Chef Ramsay called the risotto. I put it in the pan. Then he called a second risotto right on top of it about 30 seconds later. So I did not put any stock in the pan, so it was not cooking. It was only sauteing in the brown butter. So I added that second batch of risotto right into the pan. Then I started putting my stock in, so I was making a double batch to bring up. So behind us, we have all the production team, who probably are not chefs, looking at us through the one-way glass and said, "Oh, Pat just put raw risotto into partially cooking risotto into Chef Ramsay's little ear radio." He comes flying back to me like his tits are on fire and starts screaming in my face like that I'm putting, and when you're getting yelled at by him, you can't defend yourself.
Yeah.
I just stood there and I wanted to say, but I didn't put any stock in. Nothing was cooking. And the words didn't come out. So then he splits it into 2 pans, which does absolutely nothing. So it's all mixed up already. And I was so seething angry. I ended up, I made these 2 separate pans, and with the light right on top of me, I was grinding my teeth. There was a little dot of butter that split out that I could have easily just pulled out, emulsified, put a little stock in, mixed it in. I didn't even see it because my eyes were glazed over. I was so mad, and brought that up, and that little rim of fat that was on the pan is what caused basically the whole shitstorm. which was
And
nothing.
so what happened with the? Can you remind the audience what happened with the salt and the clip being looped or something?
Oh yeah, the salt that I still get called salty, and to this day, 'cause that won't get old. So, Paulie was my partner. R.I.P. again. So
Here you go.
thank you, Ultra.
Being respectful, come on.
Yeah.
He sucks.
So-
He's an asshole. Fuck him.
I mean, I didn't like him.
Paulie
I'm
started screwing.
gonna be respectful.
Hold
and
on.
say,
Wait, let's talk about Paulie started screwing Johnny's baby's mom after the show.
What?
Whoa.
Yes.
What?
Yes. They
Woo,
all moved in together,
motherfucker.
Johnny and Paulie after the show, and
I
then
don't wanna do it, but can I
Paulie
take
started
back
banging
the
Johnny's
hat off
baby's
that I
mom.
just did? That's
Mm.
Francesca.
massive
Yeah.
fucking dickhead.
Through Paulie.
Kim spilling some of our sex capades
Oh, I
on
have so
season
much.
16.
I have this.
Oh,
My
one
hair
more,
is so
one
big
more.
with secrets. It's so big with secrets.
Yeah.
Okay, look,
There's a
how
lot
do you
more we
go
won't go
from-
into.
Right.
All right, that just pulled me. All right, what was even the question? I just missed the entire question.
Explain what happened with the salt in the loop. I'm
Oh
curious.
yeah, thank you. All right, I went to sex and forgot the salt. So Paulie's first risotto that he brought up to the pass was the one that was shown as too salty. So I said, hey, let's check each other's dishes out, make sure we're good on the seasoning. So then, because he was too salty on the first one that he brought up, his like next one or two, I tasted and it was flat. I go, bro, that needs salt. So I put one in. They looped it to me doing it twice, and then cut and pasted the first one that he brought up, which was too salty. So the one that I salted was brought up to the pass, and it was perfect. So they did a loop and a cut and paste because they couldn't find anything else on me. Every other dish I made was spot on.
My God.
And
I
did
could
not
do stuff
show
like that. I
anything
wouldn't, but
that I brought up.
could.
Yeah, that just Like I said, Pat, if the one last question. We'll eventually get to this episode, but like one last question: is there like at least like a little bit of solace in knowing that like most people consider you like one of, if not the best, like first boots or like most unfairly first boots of all time? Like, is there a little solace in that, or is it still like, damn, I was first boot and I didn't really get much of a chance, I got screwed?
You know what? Honestly, I don't really
He's
mind.
bitter. Don't let him lie. He's so
I
bitter.
am.
He'll just say
Yes,
he's
yes,
bitter.
I do. He sees all my hashtags. I do hashtags still bitter all
Oh.
over Reddit.
But I think a lot of the Right.
Oh, Pat.
Thank you, Kim.
I mean,
But,
granted, with all the salt jokes you get, you deserve to be salty about all
Pat,
this.
how many canned clams jokes do I get still to this
Oh,
day?
yeah, and box pasta, dry pasta, canned clams.
Dry pasta. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people on Reddit, comments, Discord, I know they're kind of joking, but like one thing they could kind of agree on is that the consolation prizes you get to save yourself a lot of drama from the blue team that season, right? So
That's what kind of Stephanie said. Hey.
Which reminds me, Kim, if I remember correctly, you were originally slated to be on All Stars, but you chose to not go on there, correct?
I
you
interviewed twice. I interviewed twice with them. They actually chose Heidi, then me. We both interviewed. Then they went to Heather. I love Heather. She's one of my best friends. But I think that out of all of us, they ended up casting her because they tried to elicit some drama with Andrew. I'm thankful. I don't want to do it again. I think that they only chose me for All Stars is because they didn't get to really like stick it to me. And because initially, like I said, I wasn't cast to make it to Black Jackets. I don't think they really knew my full potential. They just really underestimated me, and I think that's what a lot of people do in my entire life. So I've learned to expect that and kind of switch it on people. But yeah, if they were to ask me now, yes, I would take it and I would go through and I would win. I know I would win because
I love that confidence and I believe you.
And I think production since season 19 is like, I think 19 is kind of like the new era. I think production's changed. I think the format has changed a bit. So
I noticed that with the casting too. I'm 46 almost, so it's I'm a bit older. I think than a lot of people, so I look at it from a different perspective, and I think they cast chefs to the viewers currently, and I think what they're trying to view too is really not my crowd. You know, I wouldn't. I don't know. Like the people that I'm seeing right now, they're young. I'm sure full of certain beliefs that as being an older person, I'm a little bit different. So I don't know if I would even make it, even if they were to cast me. But if it was based on knowledge and the way I can execute dishes in my kitchen, I would win. I know
What I
it.
meant to say was actually I was kind of meaning it the opposite way. I meant it more like I think that if you were cast today, I think that there wouldn't be this.
Negative.
I don't think you would be cast. I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't think you would be cast with
The dip.
production thinking you're never gonna make black jacket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I'm older and I'm not as naive to people. People don't perceive me as being naive or as gullible because now I know how powerful I am in my in everything that I do. I don't go into anything to fail anymore. I go in to succeed and to win, and to at least, even if I'm not first, I'm going to be second. You know, like I'm not ever going to go anything and be shitty and be last. I'm going to put as much effort as I possibly could into everything I can do. Because I got a 15-year-old and she looks to me like I'm her moon and stars.
Yeah.
So I have that. So I can't fail, you know?
Yeah, I keep forgetting you're 46.
Yeah.
You look 36, maybe.
Yeah.
Like,
No, the viewers are saying 26. Screw that. Yeah, that's what the comments are
Stop.
saying.
You look at
Yeah,
me.
no, that's insulting to me. I'm 27. Remember that.
Yeah.
I just turned 27 Saturday, so
Real, don't make
Happy
me go
birthday
cool.
to Jim.
Oh, why didn't you tell the stream that? Happy birthday, Jim. Let's get a
I
happy
told you
birthday.
last week.
Happy
There's so much
birthday.
going on this stream.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Jim is 27. You're 28. That's what they're saying. You're 27. You're still good too.
Gotta
So.
give your mother. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
the
Happy
oldest
your daddy.
person in this stream of the original streamers, like not counting Sarah Kim. I'm almost 30. Like I'll be 30 in January.
Dirty 30. Loved it. I had a great 30th birthday. It was awesome. Go out and get hammered and have fun and
Also
Yeah.
looking like he's never been dirty before.
no, get dirty. It's the best feeling. Even if you gotta go out and I'm a gardener, so I get dirty every day. I love it.
I actually
All
do
right.
work a lot with a lot of like dirt and grime in my everyday life. I just try to keep my job close to my chest.
Yeah. Ooh, nothing wrong with that.
All right. So yeah, after what 20? That was great. Yeah, to what 27 minutes of like absolute tea getting spilled. Let's finally start to get in a little bit into this episode a little bit. So yeah. As much as I know the chat probably wants to hear more tea. Gumball, you awake on us? The chat might be.
Yeah, I'm awake.
I know. It's like Gumball's invisible tonight. Like,
Yeah, we're kind of nervous. You might have fell asleep. So yeah, just kind of
I don't think he
I
watched season 16. So
Well, yeah, that's one thing. So what is your overall thoughts so far on the premiere? And like, I know you gave your power rankings and kind of going into this episode, what are we kind of looking for?
Yeah, so I ended up watching the premiere. I made my own power ranking for it, which by the way, I am going to be doing my power ranking videos for the season. But yeah, I thought the premiere was pretty good for the most part. I kind of liked how they had one person from every state. They still had one person from every state, but they narrowed it down to 20 anyway. And then in this episode, they just narrowed it down to 19, but we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, I mean, it was pretty good premiere. Like, I felt like I got a good sense of who the contenders are so far in the season. And I think this episode definitely shed some more light on where certain people are going.
Sure, and we'll get into that in a second. But unfortunately, which we kind of predicted, one person would have to go home right away. And we had the punishment pass, and it was actually a scallop dish this time, a pretty basic scallop dish that would determine not only the punishment pass, but who would go home this time. All right, so Antonio, Chris, and Jaden were top 3 for the blue. And Lisa, Jada, Anaya, and Kat were top 4 for the red. And the punishment pass for the winning team, for the blue team, is Chris and Anaya for the red team. And yeah, Ultra with a big thumbs up. I believe this
annihilated the dish.
Yes, you did.
The challenge. Sorry.
I believe that was both yours, right? So what's your thoughts on those two winning? And do you think that automatically means that's good for them going forward? Ultra.
Oh, me. Sorry. Yeah, I personally do because Brandon and Witch, who I also had in my draft last season and game punishment passes, I'm on a roll right now.
Yeah, my God.
They made Black Jackets were pretty solid contenders to be winning the game in the end. So, yeah, I have high hope for Anaya and Chris. I already had a pretty good read on them from just the edits they got in the premiere with Anaya having some pretty good quips and full of energy, and at least one solid relationship already with Jada. And then Chris with a very solid backstory, and I can see the leaning to becoming a leader down the line. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy that they did well, and I'm equally happy that we didn't really see any definitively bad moments from my draft picks. That's on a personal level.
Right. So then,
Paul.
well,
We'll
we'll
get
get
to
to that in a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that brought us to the elimination. So yeah, we've watched after season 21, where we thought Ileana might have broken the curse with 20 chefs. It seemed like a certain someone wouldn't make it to the first food service, and the people up for elimination were freaking Kara, Maddie, Chase, and Carlos. Were we all kind of thinking Carlos was going home, or is anyone think different at this point? You know,
Nope, I was positive.
But
yeah.
see, here's the thing. I missed that part because earlier I was saying I'm glad that the person I was talking like, oh, Chase and whatever. But now someone just told me, like when you just said Maddie was up as well. Was Maddie the second to last one? Like, was she the last one sent back, or was it Cara Marie?
Oh, they just picked. He didn't send anyone back in line. They just picked Carlos. And that will be our first boot of the season. We say goodbye to Carlos, the second person, 2 out of 3 Alaskan chefs, to be eliminated in the punishment pass challenge. And Alaska is our first representative to go home this season. So yeah, chat, give me your thoughts on Carlos. And yeah, if anyone, I mean, if anyone has anything to say about him, I mean, go ahead. But like, you know,
we are 0 for 2 with Alaskan chefs in Hell's Kitchen. Like the only 2 we've ever had.
Well, we could also argue Brittany,
but yeah, didn't even make it to service. And I will be honest, given what we got out of them, I can't predict they would have made it far. I'm sure there are good Alaskan chefs out there, but this is just not the best sampling we've had.
I think that what I think was interesting was that I didn't see this part of the episode, sadly, so I don't know if Ramsey looked at Maddie, looked at Chase or whoever and said, I think these people will flop on service the same way he looked at Matthew Francis Johnson. This person might flop on service, and the blue team looks like they're going to be a disaster, so I'll cut a red person right now. But what I found was, whose mic is that? Better not be mine.
It's okay.
Yeah, so basically what I found was interesting was how in both cases where an Alaskan went home at this challenge, both of which it was a fish related dish. So you had salmon and then you had scallops. I mean, like a fish station related dish. And I think that's part of the reason why is because of the stereotype that Alaskans and fish and seafood get along very well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, like, you know, and that's why I kind of like the idea of the season, right? The Alaskan guy goes home in a fish dish, right? You know, it just seems like it was meant to be. It seemed like he was probably going to go. And Ramsey I'm kind of glad Ramsey said it himself, not only like this dish, but, you know, he had a bad sinner dish too, especially out of the 4 elimination. So, like, those 2 put together is why Carlos went home. So, but it's also just kind of funny, again, you know, that a fish dish went home. So, yeah, so that is all for Carlos. Pat and Kim, you know, what would you guys, you know, in a punishment pass, how would you react to that? You know, had someone gone home first right away? Would you?
The punishment pass. I didn't get one.
I'm just scared that Kim would have been the first one up because of like if the punishment pass challenge was like the signature dish challenge, you know what I mean? Like
there's a silver lining in that while Kim objectively you would have been in the running, so would have Matt.
Yeah.
Dove bolognese.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that doesn't sound tasty at all.
Yeah. So after that, Matt had tried to make us creme brulee out of coffee creamer back in the dorms after Pat wasn't there. But yeah, he tried to impress Heidi by making creme brulee out of coffee creamer.
What is it with him trying to one-up Heidi so many times with those stupid
I think he really wanted
also?
Heidi. Like when we were in the Playboy Mansion and Matt was doing his little twerk action because Heidi was in her gold bikini. I think Matt was, yeah.
Well, I think
Heidi looked hot in her gold bikini. She looked
I don't know.
hot.
Maybe Heidi has that Quebecois flair in her. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I love her. Heidi's awesome.
Heidi's cool. I like her.
Yeah, she's great. Very down to earth, very businesslike. She's a teacher now in Maine, doing culinary students and culinary arts. She's an amazing person. So with her husband, her daughter's grown up. Kim Ryan, same. Yeah, I got all the tea on all of us, but it's always positive tea.
I have a question.
Positivity.
Okay. I hate to break the bubble, but do you have
Yeah.
any not so positive tea about Heather? Like, or was it really great as well with Heather?
So, yeah, it was great. We had a couple in there, but post show, I love her. She's one of my best friends. I absolutely love her. But during the show, when we were Black Jackets, and I was like, at the end, I'm like, you know what? If I get a reward, I'm going to pick you. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to pick you. And then she ended up getting the Vegas trip, and she picked Heidi. I was fucking pissed. Not going to lie. I had to clean up garbage in a hazmat suit.
With Polly.
And I would have taken Heather to Vegas if I'd won that dish. When we did our first Black Jacket, when we're rolling the dice for Vegas, I would have chosen her because I loved her as a friend, and I grew to really talk with her on the show. But I was kind of upset that she picked Heidi. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. I was hurt. I was pissed. But I'm over it now. But other than that, I don't want to ever. I'm not a negative Nancy. I'm never ever going to talk bad about anybody unless it's Gia or Polly or Billy or
Okay,
Andrew.
so there's a little more than you thought.
Yeah, they suck too.
Wait, Kim, do you remember Gia blowing up the producer's phone in the dorm because she didn't have Pepsi and Newports?
This is so.
I do.
She's like Elise now.
But
So wait,
it's just, that's
that
the
phone
mentality,
is that phone is like only for there's a
emergency.
flood in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Someone just chopped their
Yeah.
arm off. The couch is on fire.
Yeah.
Where's my effing Pepsis? Where's my Newports?
trash.
You don't get these effing Newports to me right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
Well,
off on. Yeah, okay.
I have a guess why that didn't make it into the cut. I'm gonna guess that Fox didn't have any kind of Pepsi brand deal
or licensing. Yeah,
my guess, because otherwise, that would have so been meme material.
And also, it might have been a good. It might have been a bad look. I don't know.
Everything though in our magic house that we had, I call it magic house. Everything, all the labels were always taped. Our sugar-free Red Bulls, our chips, our this, our that.
Gatorade
tape over the labels. So yeah,
toiletries, anything that was branded.
We couldn't. Nothing. It's nothing. It's awful. I love the experience, but it's. Honestly, I really kind of still feel used and underpaid for the trauma that I endured for the show. It sucked, and they don't prepare you for the hate after.
Yeah.
You got hate for what?
What?
I think it's because at the time, Andrew, a lot of people, from my point of view, it seems that a lot of people felt that Andrew's dish at the Final Six challenge was better than Kim's.
Oh,
it wasn't.
Oh, for goodness sake.
It wasn't, Kim.
His potatoes were glue. He put his mashed potatoes in the blender in a Vitamix. And
his so-called best friend
and
his
Ramsey tried to tell him, "Are you good with that?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make something different." When they say that, that's giving you the hint saying, "Hey, you're fucking this up. Do something different." And he didn't take the hint. So I gotta say, and it's to touch on that again, Kim and Heidi only chose Andrew's dish because they thought it was mine because it was sloppy. And they're like, oh, it has to be Kim's because she's not good at plating. That's the only reason they chose it. And Heather and Polly chose mine based on taste. So in all actuality, it would have been 4 for me and none for Andrew. But I had friends.
It sounds like it. I'm not the least bit surprised that you have better social game in the house. Not like that really should matter in the end.
Well, I'm just smart. I went to college for my psych nursing. That's what I went to college for. I didn't go to college for being a chef or culinary. I was inpatient psychiatrics and dual diagnosis with chemical dependency patients. And that's what I went to college for. Actually had a brain. Everyone thinks I'm stupid, but no, I'm not.
I'm stupid.
So I was able to apply what I learned in college, being on a reality TV show, and thank God I did.
So, Kim, why do you think you got the hate?
No, I got the hate because people just just want to shit on people that want to be nice to other people.
Okay.
Because they're
I
happy with
hate
their
those
life.
people.
They thought you were fake. Is that it?
Yeah, everyone just thinks I'm too nice and try to walk all over me, and it's like, whatever. I'm sorry you're miserable in your own life, but
Yeah, well, that's my experience on Discord, like where it's like I'm nice, and then I make one little awkward comment and people jump the fuck on that.
Yeah, I'm not.
There's
on
assholes
Discord.
everywhere.
I'm not on Discord. I don't know what that is. Like
That's probably a good thing.
You're probably better off.
I'm too
You're better
old
off.
for that.
Yeah. All
I
right.
got TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, but being a Gen X person, I don't even know what Discord like. I don't know if I can. This is even hard for me to be on. I had to ask my daughter how to download this.
Yeah.
The thing about the thing
You're here
is,
now.
Discord is built for like late millennials, early Gen Zs, but the late Gen Zs and early Gen Alphas are freaking ruining it.
Yeah, I think everyone just like forget the labels and just be people. I think that's really where society's kind of failed. We're putting people in like stereotypes and labels and this and that. Just be a person, just be nice and love people and be respectful, and regardless of your age, your genre, your generation, and so I don't know. That's how I'm raising my kid. Just be nice to everybody.
Yeah, good comment here. I don't know how many of you guys know this, but
Yeah.
Pat was on Jeopardy, the only person on Hell's Kitchen to be on Jeopardy, so that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a champion.
I'm a champion, yeah. So speaking of smart
I'm
guys,
an unofficial Jeopardy champion, not on the actual show. I can't boast that, but
Yeah, because I'm not sure. Like, it's a bit of a fun fact. I'm not sure. I don't think he got the message, or maybe he thought I was just some random weirdo. But like before the game I had organized for these three, I was like, hey, fuck it, I have an idea. I'm gonna message Pat on Instagram, and I'm gonna be like, mind if you send me a little like congratulations or like welcome video to the Jeopardy game, because he's the only Hell's Kitchen chef that was on Jeopardy as far as I know. And I was.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Huh? What?
So I'm definitely the only person on the planet to be in both shows, to be in the Jeopardy and Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, only person to apply. Okay, interesting. So not just be on, but apply. So there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you probably.
Aw.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess you don't really think of like chefs like competing on Jeopardy, but yeah, Pat pulled it off.
It also raises my next question, because it says you competed on season 16, 1999. You won one game. According to the J Archive, you won $10,600. No, $10,200. But it says that you were a security guard at the time. So how did you go from security guard to
not security. I was a county corrections officer.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. How did you go from county corrections officer to chef?
So I went to culinary school at the age of 19. Then I was right out of high school. I was in kitchens. Then I owned a food truck for a little bit. And when I owned that, I was ready to get married to wife number one and didn't have any benefits. So ended up choosing one of the worst prisons in the country to be an officer in, and went into law enforcement for the benefits, and it was life-changing. It was a life-changing experience to walk that beat, and I held that badge very, very close to the heart, and I loved it. Was an honor to be in law enforcement, and then right out of law enforcement went back into the kitchens.
Cool. All righty. So yeah, let's get back into this episode now. So Gumbo, for the edit guy, I kind of had an interesting note, after Carl's elimination. After Carol almost, maybe wasn't close to going home, but right after she was like in jeopardy, no pun intended, jeopardy of going home. She got like a bit of a fun. I mean, you could look at it as like a dumb moment. It doesn't mean much. We're just trying to transition, but like she got like beating Paul in an arm wrestling moment. They really kind of propped her up as like a strong woman, you could say, despite her, almost going home. And at first I thought, okay, this is going to highlight Paul going home, but as we saw, Paul, of all things considered, probably you could argue had like one of the best, or at least bad of nights in the Blue Kitchen. So, is this any positive for Kara whatsoever? Or am I just kind of overreacting to this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was like an okay like service for Kara Marie. Yeah, I wasn't super high on her in episode 1. I feel like, again, wasn't great premiere with her, like obviously like really screwing up the signature dish and really focusing on this vegan storyline. And even now, like, it does feel a bit one note to me, like the fact that she does focus so much on the fact that it's like, oh, I'm a vegan and I need to prove that I can like cook meat, like, because like apparently vegans can't cook meat and they can't like they don't have protein. Like we had that scene of her arm wrestling Paul, which was pretty fun. It definitely like was a good sign. Like, I don't think it's enough to make her a contender for me, but like again, it was still like a fine enough scene for her, like with her like wanting to prove herself and then like having like an all right service, all things considered, even though like it wasn't like that big of a jump for me.
Well, speaking of service, we had quite the opening night service here. Before Kim, what is it like, on that first night of service, right? Is it, and I always kind of ask chefs about this, are you do you not care about the circumstances, treat like any other, or at least try your best to treat it like any other service? Or are you like kind of hoping other people screw up? And of course, in the red kitchen, as we know, you guys had one of the all-time best services, which I know might have been like edited a bit. But yeah, if you want to talk about that real quick, you can.
So I actually tried to quit my first night. Right before I went into service, I started crying, freaking out. I walked off stage. And the woman that had cast me like had to shake me literally by the shoulders and say, "You're here for a reason. I cast you for a reason. Get your shit together and get back out there," because I wanted to go home. I'm a sushi chef. Like I have my own food truck. Like I have my own little business. I'm in my own little world. I've never worked a line like that. I've never worked in a brigade system. I've never done French cooking. I've never cooked a single risotto. Half the shit I cooked on Hell's Kitchen, I've never even tasted before in my life. I just literally went there and applied because everyone said I would never survive, and everyone said I couldn't do it. And I'm one of those stubborn people in life that won't let people tell me no. So that's why I did. And first night of service, literally, it was awful. I was so scared, and I thank God they saw how scared I was, and so they cast me on table service with Kim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So her and I think it was really to help me decompress mentally because they realized I was in full on distress. And Cynthia, our casting person, was like, "No, I want you." So they put me on table service. Thank God they did, or our whole night would have been a lot different. I'm telling you, you would have seen me melt down, like cry, freak out, and it would have been a whole different timeline and storyline for me that night.
I was gonna say that would have been quite the butterfly effect on the season.
Awful. Like it was awful. I cried, freaked out. I don't block here. I don't block here. Like, oh. And they're like, "No, you do." I did. She's like, "I picked you for a reason," and her telling me that like really instilled like a sense of like fight in me. And I carried it on, I think, through the entire season. I don't want people to ever tell me no or tell me I can't. That's like my biggest like do it kind of motivation. So yeah, like thank God she did, because I would have been home before Pat. Sorry, Pat, I love you. Sorry.
Speaking of crying, what were your thoughts of the premiere episode second episode of season 17, where Ashley comments that Elise is crying and she didn't cry on her season yet? There was a flashback right afterwards to Ashley crying at the baths.
Yeah, poor Elise. She gets such a bad rap. She really does.
Wow.
Whoa. Oh, hot take. That is a hot take there.
This is coming from someone who's met Gia, so
No, so honestly, Elise, I think, has the background to back up the shit that she talks. She is a badass woman. That woman like is a beast in the gym. She's a beast in the kitchen. Like, and I think people are threatened by her, and she might be a little bit over cocky, but in her own right, she deserves it. She's a beast. I'm sorry, she's a beast. I love her. She's a beast.
Oh yeah, I've never denied that.
Where like a lot of people really hate her, and I do get the hate from what the edge shows us. And unlike Pat, I don't think they're overcompensating. I do think she delivers a lot of reasons to give backlash. But I'm one of the few people who actually watches her and enjoys watching her, because I'm like, for one, I do see talent. Like
she has tons of it. She oozes with talent. She has skill. She's amazing. She might be a bit over cocky, but
like even Lynn, as I acknowledge at one point, she had like one really damn good service in season 9, like really damn good. So
Yeah.
yeah, like
She probably had, but honestly though, what people fail to recognize, the editing team deserves an Emmy, an Academy Award, or whatever else they give you, because the editing team is Hell's Kitchen. We all aren't as incompetent as everyone thinks. The scallops aren't always like raw or burnt. The risotto isn't always undercooked or this or that. Like, production plays a huge role and key into everything. There's a little like control room between two kitchens. So you have red kitchen, blue kitchen, control room. You have double-sided mirrors. You have Ramsey with 2 earpieces. You have like everything working against you because it's TV. No one wants to see everybody succeed. You're all supposed to fail. You know, no one wants to see a well-executed service. They want to see drama. They want to see like chaos. So it's really hard when people judge chefs. Oh, I saw you do this. Did you really? You know.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
There is a lot to a grain of salt from this show.
I was going to say,
100%.
Like I'd watch people like Matt or Johnny and be like, I don't know, there's a lot of shit y'all two are saying that I don't think's getting taken out of context. But then there's things like Rochelle's nominations in season 12, like especially the one after she talked to the blue team, where I'm like, I don't know, it doesn't look like that's actually happening. Yeah. I mean, I know for sure, but it doesn't look like
it's all bad. Yeah.
I think. As far as Elise is concerned, I think. I agree that Elise is talented in the kitchen. I agree that she's ripped and she deserves props for that. I just personally felt that in season 9, if they were going to give 6 black jackets, I feel like Natalie and Elizabeth deserve them over Elise. That's just my take.
Yeah.
I disagree a little bit because.
Yeah. Let's get back to service here. So quite a speaking of overnight, quite a bad service on both sides of the kitchen. So yeah, let's go through the mistakes here. Red team actually got off to a very good start on the appetizers, but then mostly it was Kat and Maddie for all intents and purposes that really kind of messed up that night. There was a raw pork at the end with communication, but those two really kind of peaked in the kitchen, and Maddie, bless her heart, was clearly overwhelmed. And on the blue kitchen, immediately that Bradley got overwhelmed, and Chase, boy, they pulled a Scott and Chris. Those two could not get out flatbreads. I know they're on pizzas, but ran out of cheese for all that. That's how bad those two were. I mean, so like that's the funny thing. We all thought Paul was gonna be the first boot. Not only was he not the first boot, he might have been the only person not to make a mistake all service, right? You know, because then you had Chris put his hands in one of what's his name, his risottos. That was a big no-no.
I think it was
Bradley's risotto, yeah. Whoever was on fish messed up a dish, and then the 2 on pork, the remaining 2, got them kicked out at one point. Henry gave up a raw pork at some point as well. So like, I think pretty much everyone besides Paul actually.
That was lamb.
Lamb, yeah, whatever the case be. So yeah, this could legit be like an all-time bad, at least individual service, if not all-time bad total service in general. So yeah, I'll start with you, Ultra, the obviously big HBA fanatic. Where does this kind of rank for you in all-time bad open night services?
I mean, obviously, we have still seen worse as long as season 12 exists.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they served something. But, if both teams get kicked out, it has to be among the worst. So it'd be this, season 8, and season 22, along with 12. So how do I rank it amongst them? Probably a little better than season 8. Probably a little worse than season 22. So maybe third worst, given both teams got kicked out and for justifiable reasons. Although I am really sick of the notion of they were going to suggest Anaya for a nomination because she was barking orders. Maddie, you give her being back.
Well, that's the funny thing. They didn't even show like the red team debating. It seemed like it was so obviously it was going to be the 2 from Fish, right? You know.
Oh yeah, I know. Like I'm sure, like the fact that you I'm like.
I disagree with you on that. I feel like that's normally would be the case, but like this evening, both teams did a pretty good job of selling it to me that there are more than just 2 names on the board. Like that's rare, I find.
Yeah, that's a good question, Chad. So yeah, what is that after what? Only 2 seasons in total. up until season 22 that both teams lost opening night.
23.
We've now had 3 in a row. That's crazy. So I'm kind of interested to see what you guys think. Which is the worst? I do gotta think it's 24, right? You know, because at least the Blue team really carried that. Just how bad it was.
Yeah, I forgot 23.
I feel-
That's a little bit higher up though.
I feel like season 24 is the worst out of the 3 because ever since like this, who the fuck? Anyway, so ever since season 19 with this new era crap, I feel like there's always that, like what's been going on with a lot of seasons is you have both teams, because I did this in a recent video, you had both teams going deep in service, and then one team gets kicked out, and very conveniently, right soon after that team gets kicked out, the other team is on a good stride and they're about to finish service. That happened like 5 seasons in a row. Then we get to season 22. One team gets kicked out, and then the other team is like, Ramsey gets very nitpicky and kicks them out as well. That's what happened 22 and 23. Season 24, the blue team was the one kicking, yet the red team is the one kicked out first. And I think that's why I think it's the weakest of the 3.
Yeah, season 23, 22, 24. But yeah, regardless, it's still kind of crazy in this talented season. As we know, season 22, season 23, and we'll see how season 24 goes. But yeah, just some bad opening nights. The nerves might have got to them. And real quick, you know, Pat, I know you. Kim, remind me, have you been able to watch this season, or were you able to watch this episode at least?
Oh yeah, I just watched it. So yeah.
Cool. What do you think so far? Obviously, we've all trying to get in our takes. What do you kind of think of these casts so far? Anyone stand out to you from your point of view?
So honestly, I think they're all young. I think a lot of them are inexperienced. I think a lot of them are cast based on like socio-political kind of things versus what they might do in an actual kitchen. And I think unfortunately they're trying to gear their casting towards the current society versus what's, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I get
I
it.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wish the best to everybody, but I
Saying,
don't
like-
see the fight in everyone like earlier seasons. You know, there's hunger in people that, even people like Russell and Nona, Christina Wilson, like I love her. Like we've actually become friends. Well, we're friends.
Oh, cool.
But now she's left the Ramsey brand. But you know, like we all had a certain like hungry dog fight in us, and I don't see that in anyone currently.
And
You know, if that makes sense.
No, I get. I totally get that. Pat, same for you. Anyone? What do you
For
think of the
characters,
season
I
so
meant.
far? What do you think of the season so far? The theme, and anyone stand out to you in a good or bad way?
The theme's kind of cool. I like Jaden a little bit. He was looking decent. I saw some talent there, definitely. Like especially in the scallop challenge. Some of the dishes really looked nice. They had some, nice components.
Flair.
So-
It was like aesthetically flair.
Yeah, I was impressed. I think it's going to be a decent season. I don't see a whole lot of drama yet. I'm looking for, a little more like, I mean, again, our season was insane. There's,
Yeah.
I don't see a Matt. I don't see I don't see a Johnny. I don't
You don't see
think we're ever-
Kim. You don't see Kim.
I think that season 16 could have actually been a fun train wreck to watch if it wasn't for like 3 or 4 people,
Yeah.
I was saying before the stream started with Pat that there's a small part of me that almost might have had a guilty pleasure side for season 16 if it were funny at all. And Pat was one of the few chefs who were giving any kind of good zingers and one-liners and confessionals.
Yeah.
No one else really was. So for them to cut him that fast was a massive detriment to the season. Not just for cooking ability, because he was robbed, but just on editing level, I don't think that made sense.
As much as Devin screwed Pat in the premiere, I find that like Devin, at least with his accent and coming across as like just there, I found that kind of funny.
So,
Yeah.
Can I just chime in real fast?
Yeah, sure.
Season 16 was supposed to be the last season. They had not renewed Ramsey's contract with Fox at the end of our season. We were supposed to be done, it was over. So they did not give us publicity. They did not give us the proper anything for our season because it was up in the air for renewal. I really
Honestly,
feel
I believe that.
Yeah, because you guys got
it's true.
first
It's
Friday
100%
night.
true. That's the fact. That's what they told me. Your production, they're like, yeah, it's probably gonna get renewed, blah blah blah. Because I was expecting, someone to come at me with, promoting me, someone from Fox, my local, because we're a Fox affiliate here in New York, in Rochester. To have a point person to say, here, this is what you have to do. This is what I have to do everything myself. As far as publicity, and thank God I have people because of my business that were like, hey, let me do this for you, let me put you here, let's get you on the news. And I was doing the news every single week. But if it weren't for them, I would have nothing. Because Fox is kind of was going to be washing their hands because MasterChef is coming out, so they're going to be doing MasterChef and doing all his other shows. So unfortunately, I think season 16 was never meant to really get off the ground. And it sucks because, we did have some moments that were never aired that I know probably would have made people actually like us instead of like hate us and think we were toxic. Although we were talking, especially everyone's toxic. Chefs suck. We all suck. We all have problems. Anyone that wants to work in a restaurant instead of spending time with their family on a holiday, that's something's wrong. But that's what I think really went wrong with season 16 before it ever even aired. There was never an intent to make it special, and it really sucked because we're still people at the end of the day. We still give up time with our families. I miss time with my mom, my kid. So it's it's awful, and I hate that people get bad reps and everyone's like, oh, this person, because you might like them in real life.
Yeah, I find that like season 17 is like I remember season 16. Well, I actually my first season was season 17 actually, but like when I was watching it, I could tell that apart from like the final 6 challenge, I felt like there was a lot of like transitional differences between season 16 and 17. Not just the fact that there was the theme that like the subtitles for every season now. Also, like season 16 was the last one with a proper intro, which leads me to like my next question for you guys. And then there's also, I remember like a lot of online forums were talking about seasons 1 through 16 and even Wikipedia, and it's like season 17 was like really more newer and developed. But I think there was a bigger gap between those seasons. So I could tell it totally makes sense that season 16 could have been the last one. Which leads me to my next question. Kim and Pat, can you explain to me how the filming for the intro sequence worked out, where Pat, you're smashing a bass, and Kim, I forgot what you were doing?
She was
putting out a fire.
It was Aaron like.
I had a fire extinguisher with Aaron.
Yeah, so how did that work out?
I flipped my hair, and I had my big hair and my flower, and I put it. Yeah.
Did they put you on Did they put you in front of a green screen? Is that what happened?
Let Pat answer. I talk too much.
You're right.
It was a green screen. They gave me a mallet. They sprayed a lot of water onto the sea bass, and then they just said like just smash it in kind of slow motion, so it was nice and clear. And if you notice, the image is inverted. I'm holding the mallet with my left hand, and I'm right-handed, so it was reversed when you see it on the show.
Yeah.
And that was something they had me do a few days in. So I came from the, from the house back to film the intro.
Oh wow! Okay. Yeah. So they had you go. All right, cool. Yeah, that must have been fun too. Yeah, it wasn't the last season, thankfully, but it was the last season with the intro, as Jem said. So that was cool. You guys got to do that. That's kind of a nice little niche there. But yeah, so back to the elimination. So it's pretty obvious, like we said, Maddie and Kat were going for the red team, and it was so. Gumball, what were you kind of thinking between the three that up for between Bradley, Antonio, and Chase? Who were the two you were thinking for the blue team we're going to put up?
I feel like it was pretty clear it was going to be like obviously Bradley had to go up. They got a lot of focus on him and like his mistakes. And I did also think Chase was going to be the other nominee because, truth be honest, I actually thought Chase was going to be the boot for a lot of the episode. I felt like Chase's premiere was very lackluster. He was one of the quietest people in the premiere. And I feel like his performance in this episode was mostly bad, with him doing bad in the initial challenge and then having a pretty bad service. And I thought with like there being more focus on like Bradley and Maddie like making their mistakes on their end, that those would be like fake outs. And instead it's like you would think, oh, probably Bradley or Maddie going out. But instead oh, be Chase instead because Chase did all these things wrong, and like I figured with like his edit that he probably wouldn't have missed that much. So I did think Chase was at the very least going to be the other nominee from the blue team, and then obviously with Bradley like getting a ton of focus during the service, like I felt like those two were pretty clear to be the noms on the blue team.
Yeah, so in the end, the nominees were obviously Maddie and Kat for the red team and Chase and Bradley for the blue. So, Jem, who are you kind of, and Kat, this goes for you, who are you kind of feeling was going to go home? Because, I did think for sure it was going to be Maddie, and there was possibly a Chase, but I will say, Bradley at the end there, when he was the final one to go, and, someone said he pulled a Chris, right, for season 10, like, I got overwhelmed, and Ramsey cut him off. I was like, oh my God, is this going to be possibly a Bradley? So and anyone else can answer as well if they thought. But who did you kind of think was going home when it was all said and done after their pleas?
Well, when I was watching
Chase, you were thinking Chase, Pat?
Yeah, I was thinking Chase. He just seemed like he didn't know what he was doing. The flatbreads were a joke. I mean, they cook so quickly. Watch it,
I'm sorry, if you were to have an ingredient because you mess it up that often, that's who I would have picked to go home. I'm sure, again, nothing against Chase as a person. I'm sure he's a nice guy. If we're going based off of strictly skill, I think he should have gone home this episode, not Maddie. Although Maddie was plenty bad herself.
But I'm going to say this, that when I was watching the episode, I was like, it's Chase or Bradley. Like when the men, because the women were starting off strong, and then I was looking at the men's side, I was like, okay, it's Chase or Bradley, Chase or Bradley, Chase or Bradley. Unless we get to, the entree section of the night, and then all of a sudden we have Paul fucking up. That's what I was thinking.
That lamb was horrible.
Huh?
That lamb rack was horrible. When Ramsey just put the knife on it to cut through, you could see how soft it was, that it was undercooked.
I know.
How are you not temping that, before that goes out? It was obviously raw.
That was I don't even cook,
and
I watched.
So we fast forward to
enough times to where even I could tell, yeah, that ain't gonna work.
But I was fast forwarding to, because there were a few moments where some of the guys made mistakes, like Chris hand picking the peas out or some shit like that. That was gonna be passed over or whatever. But we get to the part where it's like the red team starts to have their mistakes, and I'm like, where I started to get an inkling that Maddie might be in trouble was more when it was starting to become obvious that it wasn't just going to be the red team that was going to be thrown out. I think the red team was gradually going to be considered a losing team as well. Plus, like, Maddie was having moments of like laughing and all that, and she got out. And I'm thinking it just became more and more obvious that Maddie was going to be in trouble. And then when the red team was told two nominees, I was like, you know what? We could see a double elimination where it's like, triple if you include Carlos.
That's what people have been saying in the comments.
Yeah, we got a double or triple if you include Carlos, where it's like Maddie and then Chase go home. I didn't think Bradley was going because I was like, Hell's Kitchen, it would be entertaining as hell to see a 5 out of 5 signature dish person be the first boot. But at the same time, it's like Hell's Kitchen's predictable. It's kind of boring at this point sometimes. So it's probably going to be the second worst second challenge dish that goes home, which is Chase, and then or one of the worst ones. But it turns out to be another person who has a weaker punishment pass dish, which is Maddie. But still, it would have been entertaining if it was a double boot, but at the same time, I can understand why it was not a double boot. And I know I just talked too much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know where you went. I kind of got lost there for a second. But speaking of Bradley, since you guys are here, you know what? Thank God he wasn't the first person to go home, because he will be our first season 24 guest next week. So, guys, give a huge shout out to Ultra. Ultra actually contacted him on Reddit. I know he's been, active there, and he got that in contact with me. So I just want to tell, while we're on the topic of Bradley, I just want to shout him out. Thank God he wasn't on boots here. But yeah, so win Ultra, and yeah, Bradley. So look forward to that next week, guys. But we're talking about this week, and unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to technically the second boot. You can honestly call it the first boot, whatever the case is. Regardless, we say goodbye to Maddie from New York. So we went from damn Alaska to
Fun fact, Maddie, Maddie Bender, like they could have had an elimination quote based on her last name. That would have been funny. But anyway, we got Maddie Bender and we've got Maddie Pomia, who are two Maddies that were the second eliminated on their seasons, but were the first ones eliminated in the traditional fashion.
Oh, you're thinking of Survivor 44.
Yeah, Survivor.
You gotta remember, Jim. Most people don't. I don't think most people watch Survivor.
Yeah, well, to be fair.
Anyway, yeah. So So, yeah, Pat, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on Maddie here? And, just kind of, especially being the youngest one in this competition. What were your kind of thoughts on Maddie?
And, I mean, it's traditionally very difficult to be that young of a chef on the show. Chef Ramsay really doesn't go for the green chefs. So she was kind of behind the 8 ball to start with. And I mean, that was it. Just, rookie mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's just her age kind of shows through and inexperience.
Kim, I don't know if you can hear me, but how do you think you would have done with Maddie on the red team, and how do you think you would have got along with her, and overall thoughts on her?
I don't know. She was the one that served the scallops that were like somewhat boiled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't serve that, and she should have known to not serve that. And I think that was like the way of the start of her demise. Even I know you gotta serve scallops that are like crispy and brown.
Yeah.
Even though I serve seafood raw.
Yeah, I don't really have much. That's, I guess, kind of the problem. I don't have much to say about Carlos or Maddie. Definitely not like a Tad or Matthew type of first boot.
Yeah.
So, but also not like an amazing first boot either. So again, I know technically second boot, but you get my point. So I don't know. Yeah. Unfortunately, she did. I guess to the fine in their dish. She'll probably be like in the middle of my power rankings when it comes to like these rankings. So yeah, Ultra, Gumball, Gem, whoever wants to go. What are your overall thoughts on Maddie for this 2-episode stretch?
Here's an issue I also thought she had. I respect accountability when it comes to certain mistakes, but there's 2 instances of it not being followed by her. One, as people in the chat are mentioning right now, is when she was blaming Anaya's communication for her screw up. Bullshit.
Yeah,
obviously. But the other one came like well before during the punishment pass challenge, because she was preemptively mentioning her mistakes to Chef Michelle. I'm like, I wouldn't do that. I mean, yeah, it's good that you understood you messed up, but you're kind of giving her a bad expectation right out of the gate by saying, okay, I know I did this wrong. I'm like, how about you just let them taste it and see if they actually care? Now, they probably would have, but saying it out the gate first, probably the wrong move.
Dude, this elimination quote could have been that. It was bad, but it could have been like way worse, Jim. I don't know who the hell promoted you. Was it like some guy off the street or something? Man, like it could have been way worse at least. That would have. I agree. That would have killed me if I was 21 years old. You two, Gumball, Jim, will finish up this. Any final thoughts on Maddie on this episode in whole, as for that matter? Yeah, go ahead, Gumball.
I think Maddie was like pretty fun while she was around, like sort of like talking about like how she's like the young one, how she's like an overachiever, but yet she just like completely like flounders in the kitchen during the service, which I found pretty funny. But yeah, I felt like Maddie was fine as like an early boot here. Definitely fun for the kind of got her in. Not the person I expected to be the first boot, but it happens sometimes.
I know I've kind of mentioned this throughout, but we got to get a W in chat for Paul. Again, we were all kind of thinking he was going to be the first boot, and not only was he not, he probably did the least amount wrong. He lost it. That's the thing. He lost an arm wrestling match to Kara. That was like the only thing he did wrong tonight. So
I think he might know he's getting, because like, for him to like hug on the table after losing that match, I'm like, I think he knows what his role is going to be. I still predict he won't do great, but if he doesn't, good for him. But.
Yeah, I'm not, because I remember last year, right? I chose Amber for that reason, thinking she'd go on an underdog run. I didn't choose Paul this time. Watch him go on an underdog run, and I freaking chose Chase instead. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I had to point that out. That was definitely like a huge note for me in this episode, that Paul not only wasn't the first boot, but like really probably had the least worst night. So yeah, that wraps it up for this episode. Does anybody else have any other comments about this episode? Jem, go ahead.
Not for the episode, but we have the end of the episode tradition.
Well, no, we got plenty. We still got to get to questions for these two, and yeah.
Okay.
I thought we were wrapping up stream. My bad. There is one thing about Paul I will mention, that it is good that he had a good service. But here's something else that makes me think it's not going to lead to any great run. Did he get any confessionals like during service? I'm pretty sure no.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a great sign. He did better than most of his team. I'm not discounting that. I don't think it's going to translate to being the game that much longer.
So on that note, let's talk about next week. So who are y'all predictions? Let's go around the table. I'll start with you, Pat. Who you kind of predicting is going to be next week's boot after what you've seen so far? Or who might be in the most trouble?
Well,
Chase?
yeah. You need to go home tonight, right now.
No, it was
The vegan. She's going home.
Oh, yeah. True.
Yeah.
Who?
The vegan.
The vegan.
Cara Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Kara and Chase for those. What do you guys have to think? Gem, Ultra. Obviously, Gumball. You could probably talk about your rankings, but what are you guys thinking for next week so far? You got a lot of chases. Yeah, probably Kara.
Yeah, Chase. I mean, Cara is a little bit close, but like the confessional we see in the promo where I don't know how much more of this I can take, that kind of gives me a lean of I think he's gonna crash.
Right off, but I'm gonna say this. I'm not sure if it was. I don't know who's going home next week. I can't predict that, but I will say that one thing I forgot to mention earlier was that while I was watching Service, and I was watching people, having problems, not just 4 people, but like a lot of people having problems. Also, a lot of people having, confessionals that weren't looking good. I was after 2 episodes, I'm able to say I am confident that I could identify 60% of the people on this cast that are not making the Black Jackets after 2 episodes.
Well, hold on. I'm going to stop you right there. If you saw mine, would you ever thought that I would have made a Black Jackets?
True, but this is more recent seasons.
Honesty,
No. They're more predictable now.
Like I'll be honest with Cam, and no, I legit didn't think that. Thank you for defying my odds.
Yeah, thank you.
I thought you did think. I definitely didn't think Black Jackets. Yeah, like a final 8, 9. Yeah.
The heart of a lion, guys.
Yeah, but Kim, to be fair, I didn't see your season till like I binged 1 through 16 as 17 was happening, and I knew I was spoiled on you getting the Black Jackets, so I can't really make a comment. That being said, I will say that the past, like these new era Hell's Kitchen seasons are more predictable than pre All Stars.
It's like a cookie cutter kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like they switch a couple things, but it's like you kind of get who he's going to pick and who he wants to represent him. I look at past winners like Alex Belo. I love Alex; he's great. Who just won? Trenton Garvey. He's awesome too. So it's like I don't know, like we kind of fit a mold, but sometimes you get that one person that breaks the mold. And I think I kind of broke the mold because no one expected me to make it as far as I did. So I don't know. Don't count those people out, guys. That underdog might come back and kick your ass and win.
Yeah, I will say this was another. We talked about editing throughout the night. This was another like one of those dumb previews. Someone's gonna get arrested.
Kim, I disagree with you when you say the editing team needs an Emmy. I think that they blow it whenever they do these previews that we know are not going to be realistic.
Yeah, we have another Hell's Kitchen YouTuber.
Back in the day, at least with me, like our editing. Oh my god. They would switch some things that I would say, or Heidi, or Ryan, or Heather, or Shane, or anybody, and like add it for like a week later. So like they'll take your soundbite and insert it, and then they switch the scene and manipulate it. So I mean, I don't know, dude. Like it's crazy. It's awful.
Yeah, because let's not forget when they did 2 times in the same episode. Robin saying, "You call me a bitch today. You can expect me to keep my mouth shut."
Yeah, I've seen that a lot. Like the same soundbite being used like a few times over. Sometimes by Randy.
Yeah, right. So I don't know. I don't know. Don't count a person out yet. Don't misjudge them. Like, just give it a couple more episodes before you really like solidify in your mind who you think is gonna win. And then switch it because
we have drafts, so we gotta stick with those at least.
Yeah. So with that said, final question for you two, at least when it comes to this, winner picks. Pat, I'll start with you, or at least again someone who you think is in serious potential, who could possibly be the winner of season 24. You probably weren't expecting that, but
didn't really absorb all the contestants yet.
It's a girl. I'm going to tell you it's a girl.
Yeah, go girl.
It's a girl. Only for the simple fact that he's had multiple men winners in the past. And it goes. It's women, men, women. I think it's just how it's a cycle. It's cyclic. So
well, Kim, to be fair, you girls had 7 winners in a row. But I do agree with you. I think this season is going to be a winner.
But, I mean, we've had Ben in the past, So, I don't know. I think it's going to be girl.
For the sake of keeping it balanced, I'll give a pick from both teams of who I think could be a winner contender at this point. And maybe it's cliched on the blue team to go with the person who won the punishment pass, but let's see, Owen. I'd go with Chris. I know they showed him messing up, but I'm sorry, him trying to fix Bradley's mistake with the P's, that's not really his mistake, it's Brad's, but that kind of reminded me of Scott Cummings. Like, I feel like that's
I'm friends with him on Facebook. I like him.
I mean that in a nice way. It's like I can see him trying to counter somebody's mistakes like that.
Yeah. It's, it might be that one mistake though that's like overly exemplified to you, and that's gonna leave like a lasting impression in your mind because it's that one big one. But I don't know.
We'll see where that goes. As for women, I mean, also kind of cliche from what the draft we had was, but Lisa, I mean, she wasn't shown negatively at all. She was in contention for the punishment pass.
And they kind of did that with Kim Ryan for our season. They showed her to do no wrong, and she ended up winning.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of too early to judge.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're here for, to give our that's why, of course, Gumball does his predictions as well as he said, guys. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, so I'll be doing my second boot ranking for this video. I know technically, we had 2 boots, but it's also like the second true elimination, at least in seasons past. So respect that this week. But yeah, so guys, I saw you guys have already given me some comments I'll get to, but yeah, ask some questions before now we're done talking about the episode. We'll give Pat and Kim a couple of questions to ask. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so this is obviously the big one, Kim. How was it to outlast not just Johnny and Andrew, but that blue team in general, get that black jacket?
It was awesome. I can't even lie. It was the second best feeling in my world, next to having my daughter, because Andrew sucked, Johnny sucked, and I said it. And I was like, you know what? And Andrew was like, "Oh, you think you're gonna last him?" I said it was my mission, and it was my mission. My mission, and it felt awesome. I'm not gonna lie, it was awesome.
I highlighted you in my 10 chefs in Hell's Kitchen who stood up to their bully, and I'm like, man, that just felt so good to see that.
It's all right.
Also, I'm sorry, I still call it ridiculous that Johnny would try to insult you by calling you rat face, which
let me tell you why. Because Johnny stole all the wine. He stole our wine while we were in confessional, and I was fucking pissed because all he wanted was a glass of wine. It was such a long day, and I was pissed. So I went and I ratted him out to production. I was like, "You fucking stole our wine." They were drinking it in the bathroom. We come back. There's no alcohol because in Hell's Kitchen, you don't get to drink when you want to. They drop a basket of alcohol in a separate room. And if your friends find it, you and your friends get the booze. And it's all to themselves. They don't share it. And I was so upset because I was so much older than everybody. Why can't I have my wine? And so I went and I ratted him out. So he called me Splinter because I was a rat.
But that's the funny thing.
I'm
not even in the TMNT, but if somebody compared me to Splinter, I'd be like, what's the insulting part? That's like someone comparing you to Yoda. Oh no.
I'm gonna be honest. Right? I think that Johnny, I felt that was one of the, in my opinion, that was one of the lowest character moments in Hell's Kitchen history when I heard rat face being used. That being said, now that I hear the context, he wasn't calling you ugly. He was just calling you a tadpole.
Yeah, no, because I ratted him out.
I don't feel as bad, but I get what you're saying. It's still
Yeah, no, but I'm sorry. I'm at the point, if you're gonna be a thief on fucking TV, you're stealing from people and hiding. That one shows you have a problem with alcohol and you need to be in therapy. And number 2, you're a shitty fucking person.
Between this and Big Brother 15, what is it with people stealing wine and then playing victim that, no, you're the problem, you stitched me out.
And Flynn, they say that I talked Survivor at one time and, they don't understand, but Ultra has brought Big Brother 4 times already.
Yeah, it's awful. It was awful. And to be honest, I don't even care because I look back and I'm like, what is he doing now? He worked as a burger chef and couldn't even fucking serve a burger. I mean, Jesus Christ. What? Come on.
His elimination
I have to say one
thing. Come on, you gotta watch 16? Yeah.
Kim, do you remember when Chef Ramsay was busting Johnny, that he was the head burger chef? How many people are working there? He goes, "Oh, just me."
One.
Yeah.
One. That's me.
I mean, that's what
me.
it's
So
called.
I'm the executive chef of one. So
I mean, isn't he a food truck chef anyway? Like, so
Yeah.
he worked. I don't even know. Hey, don't knock it. I have a food truck.
yeah, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, isn't that a one chef
I
job?
heard from. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Pat, and do you have any tea? I know obviously you gave a lot of tea about your service. Any other like stories or tea or just things you had, during your time in Hell's Kitchen you want the chat to know before we head out?
Well, a little more on the editing. When we did the Sig Dish Challenge and lost during the punishment,
Yeah.
we had to take apart the dining room and kind of reset things, pull down the stands that the crowd was on. So I didn't stop moving the whole time. All right, I'm not stupid. There's cameras all over the place. I'm carrying things, doing things. They stopped. They gave us like a little break, so they would stop us. They brought out some water bottles, whatever. So everyone's on break. I'm drinking a water bottle. Everyone's drinking a water bottle. We're just hanging out. They cut that in as if I wasn't working when everyone else was working.
Yeah, and it's
Fuck.
And we're on break. Well,
yeah.
So like they had to dig so deep to throw shade on me for the to justify the elimination. But the experience was amazing. To be part of the Hell's Kitchen family and brand, it was an honor. And after the show, I was able to raise a lot of money for charity. Kim and I
hold on.
participated.
Wait. For what charity? Reality Rally, where we participated in cook-offs?
We did.
Who won 2 years in a row?
Oh, Kim did. And then wait,
I
who
did.
won?
I
Then
did.
who
I
won?
beat Dino from MasterChef.
Wait, who from MasterChef?
Dino.
I beat him.
Ooh,
I did.
that's cool.
Fucking Dino.
And then wait, then the next year, Ashley Sherman and I were victorious. Thank you.
My mom died. I had to stay home. Sorry.
My condolences.
No excuses.
I know. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
My mom died. It was awful. Damn.
But yeah, Pat, like from everything you told us, you were made to be, no pun intended, the patsy, I guess, of the season.
Oh, good one.
His game was really in jeopardy that time. I have to give him that. Like,
Oh, Jen.
That's a
Jen
good one
comes-
too.
No. But I'm about.
All right. Yeah, like the chat said, guys, I'm sure you guys could see they absolutely loved having you two on. So yeah, guys, what a great episode recap was. We still got to get the Gems game, but I'll let Kim and Pat go for tonight. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us. Pat, where can people find you on the social media and what to expect from you going forward?
I mean, I'm on all social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Follow the restaurant I opened up, please. Garden State Tavern. That's all over the internet too, in West Cornwall, New Jersey. Please come visit. Come say hi. Come eat there.
Right.
We need customers.
I'll be there, Pat. I'm off in for the next 5 months. I'm there.
And Kim,
if
where
I
can
can make it past the border, I'll visit.
Yeah.
And Kim, where can people find you and what to expect from you going forward?
I have a food truck called the Back Alley Grill. I'm on social media, Chef Kim 1101, Kimberly Roth. Find me anywhere. So yeah.
All right, yeah, like you said, it was great to have you two. You guys made for quite a fun stream, and yeah, definitely, obviously, still fan favorites and love the tea spill. So yeah, it was great to have you two on, and thanks again so much. And so yeah, have a good one, you two. Unless you want to speak to the game, but yeah, have a good night. That's it.
Bye, guys.
Take care. Thank you. Bye, Kim. I love you.
I love you, Pat. Mwah.
Bye. All right, and my stream just froze. I don't know what happened.
What
also-
happened is Pat and Kim are freezing, I think.
Yeah, I think they're both. I think Pat's the. Anyway, I can.
Y'all can still see us, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
their screens are frozen. Hey, Gumball's
yeah,
frozen too.
Like,
No,
we're-
Gumball's
we're
just
still
asleep. He's not frozen.
Oh, Pat's
Pat-
back. Okay.
Pat, do you want to say something?
Gumball, to be fair, he was so invisible today. Like, I'm so mad. So
No, I
sorry.
just haven't seen the season, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't know too much about it.
Gumball was the only time Gumball came was when Lynn was like, "Oh yeah, hey Gumball, can you talk about the edgic and the editing and your power rankings? How you is looking so far the map? You know?"
Well, yeah, because he hasn't seen the season, so I bet you're excited to watch season 16, aren't you? Like maybe on our rank.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's a lot to dissect there.
There will be.
All right, cool. All right, so Gem, finally year 2 of our game here. Yeah, kind of. Yeah. If you want to say goodbye, yeah. Have a good day. Have a good one, Pat.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
As Ramsey once said, "Ciao, Pat."
Ciao. Oh, man.
Ciao,
Have a good one.
Paul, actually. Ciao, Paul.
Have a good one, man. Peace. All right. I'll just
So the first time I ever met a Jeopardy contestant feels nice. Although I have talked to a number of them on Discord. That's it. Anyway, I will say. So before I start, another little tradition I'm going to do. I think this is going to keep myself motivated. I need to lose weight, and this is my starting weight right now. Like the 2 is missing because this light's broken, but 285.8 pounds. That's where I started 2 days ago, soon after my birthday. And I'm hoping that we're going to get.
You don't look almost 300 pounds from the.
You really do not look like that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
but my belly is going to tip it off if I do this.
Oh, okay, yeah, I knew it.
No. I'll do it in 5 weeks. Okay. Anyway, so that's gonna forget fat Gem. You know what I mean? Like anyway, so that's gonna happen. I'm going to bring my weight down, and that's the challenge. I'm gonna do it in front of 1,000 people on camera. Okay, that's number 1. And now we're gonna get to the season 2 of the popularity contest. Let's go, guys. So as you know, this season we divided. The twist is that they're split into states, and as a result, I have. If you're let's say if you're a chef that is slated to go home, but you're part of let's say the 10 immune states, then you're safe for that week instead of going home. So what happened was I had a top 13, let's say, of states to be safe because of ties and whatnot, but I decided to put the 3 of the states that were tied. I put the 3 that were the most populous in terms of Hell's Kitchen representatives on the bottom, and they'll have their scores added to their votes for next week because I wanted to be fair. I wanted to keep less represented states a little bit longer around. So that means the safe states for this week were Connecticut, Delaware, Indiana, Iowa, Maine, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Europe, which we'll treat as a state. And then there's New York, Massachusetts, and Georgia, which are not safe for this week, but their votes will be added to next week's tally. And funnily enough, I said 25 people would be going home. 27 were slated to go, but out of the 27, 2 happened to be safe because of the immunity. So I got a perfect 25. No need for complicated tie breaks. But what I think I'm going to do from now on is if I say, if 25 are going home, I'll say around 25 are going home, just so I don't have to complicate myself. But let's get started. So the person with the highest number of votes, 8 votes, Ultra is going to be really happy about this.
All right, who's the least favorite for this year? I think it was Sally last year.
This isn't a Tupperware party. This isn't a Tupperware party, guys.
Grayson! That makes me. Yeah, I know.
That guy can.
Oh! Whoa, that's a first from Ultra. Oh, man, the middle finger. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry, does he not deserve it? Does he not?
No, he does, obviously, yeah.
There you go. Figured out how to unmirror my fucking camera. So, all right, Jason Underwood representing Ohio is out. He's in 381st position. So he's the first one out. Next up, we got a bunch of next up, we got the only person with 7 votes. From season 1, we've got Jeff LaPlante, first quitter.
Surprise is like second to worst, yeah, but yeah.
Not the least bit upset, although a little surprised.
No.
I didn't like his attitude, but you gotta feel a tiny bit for him with the kidney stones thing. I've heard those are no joke.
Yeah. Now we've got a number of chefs who got 6 votes. And for this, I decided to break the tie. We're going to, because it was the first week and there's no real, let's say, vote score, tie break, whatever. I went with how they ranked last popularity contest season. And so first off, we've got Frank Calla from season 15.
Yeah.
So far, it's all guys that are going to, and you're going to see, we're going to have a long streak of just males going, because when a female is mean, no one gives a damn. When a male's mean, it's the end of the world.
Oh, throw that in there.
If it's a woman who's on the show who has a really shitty personality, I don't think you should be all that afraid of like implications.
Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, don't worry. I mean, to be fair, Frank sucked. I'll give him that. And then this one, a scandal as mysterious as this person is, we got JR.
Oh my god. What the heck? That's so. I like how.
Say
I
who
like
as a
how-
joke.
I like how you took a close up of his face, and that was like his that was like his picture for the stream.
That's the best I can do for JR. Sorry, guys.
That's perfect. It was like, "Hi, I'm Jr."
Just ridiculous.
Yeah. Next up, we've got somebody who they made a weird cliche out of him for his first episode, and then he quits the second episode.
The fourth worst out of all everyone. JR's below Andrew. That's brutal.
Yeah, Andrew Forster.
Oh
Honestly,
God.
he shouldn't be compared to be the Hell's Kitchen Hannibal Lecter. Hannibal Lecter had.
I know, that's so brutal. He's like below some. He's gonna be like below some awful people.
And then we just talked about this guy, the Russell on Reddit, Matt Hearn from season 16.
He's below Matt.
It looks like the comments. See, there we go. The comments are back to covering.
Threatening production.
Four fucking people. All right. So California is not immune. Okay, so no, those were the six vote people. Now we've got a number of 5 vote people. No, that I'm gonna get to that later. So now we've got a bunch of people who got 5 votes. Now this first person was we could say the first boot from the last contest, Scott Lee from season 18. Again, just a bunch of males so far. Now this person is Matt Hearn, just not on Reddit. Russell from season 8, 374th. Then we've got a guy who kind of has really funny lips in his profile picture, but talk back to Ramsey, I guess. Vinny from season 3.
Lazy.
You didn't want to teach me, so what the fuck do you expect me to do?
Again, it will never stop amusing me that he's called a two-faced, lazy little fucker, and it's just the lazy part that he gets offended by. Like, really? The rest was no, never mind to you at all.
Yeah. And then finally, here we go. Our first woman with 5 votes. You try to clown me up in here, Chef. You try to clown me. That ain't gonna happen. She's also our first returnee to be booted.
All right.
Then
if you don't count Russell technically coming back for as an opponent for a cert, but that doesn't count. So yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Flynn, raise your head a bit or raise your camera. I don't know.
I'm just chilling.
I mean, lower your camera. Okay, next up, we've got a guy who made the excuses, but apart from that, he was nice. I'm not sure why personality-wise, cooking-wise, I can understand why he's low, but personality-wise, I don't. Chino Chang.
Oh, wow, yeah.
If you ask Gumball, no, sorry, not Gumball, Eternal Opossum, he actually hates Chino more than Elise from this season, which is no small feat. And I think there is an argument,
he's an underrated bad chef in general and just like a mean chef. Yeah, just one of the reasons.
Yeah, I'm sorry for him to blame Nally for making yourself look good. Chino, you sucked. On the line of
I guess I forgot about that.
Do not do that to Nally.
Yeah. Then there's someone who
still though this low. And
there's someone who I know a lot of people hate this guy. I think that if it wasn't for the cheating, I think he would be not as hated, but still he's here. Andrew Pierce. We just talked about him tonight.
I still hate him for reasons beyond the cheating and the bullying. He was such a pompous fucking snob. Again, take all that stuff out. The very first time you see him, Gordon Ramsay he's mentioning the high prestige culinary school he went to, and Gordon's like, "Wow, expensive school." Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck off. I hate that, dude.
So next up, we've got a bunch of people who got 4 votes, and that's going to be the rest of the contestants that are eliminated this week. They each have 4 votes. Now, what I found was interesting is when I had to order them because there were so many people with 4 votes. I decided to take a separate picture. I'm just going to narrate it to you because the previous year's rankings for each of the chefs was interesting because they ranged to oddly high drops. So you have 358. They're out of 361 for last year. So you got 358, 349, 333, 331, 328, 325th, 320th, 318th. That's fine. Then it gets more interesting because then we got 284th, 265th, 252nd, 235th, and then last of all, somebody who got 164th last season is eliminated in the first week.
I'm going to assume it's somebody who was on last season.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, yeah.
So first person who So I'm not going to keep track of those two numbers at the same time, but the person in 369th who had the lowest of the rankings from last season I just mentioned, Monique Booker from season 14.
Man, I couldn't stand her either.
Yeah, so that's done. Now I'm going to switch photos. Now here's someone who I actually preferred this person's rival to this person, even though I have to admit the underdog story of their rival was nice. And I understand people are influenced by what happened after the show with this person. But another person with 4 votes, Ben Kaler from season 4. Then we've got another chef who, more for talent reasons, I guess, Melinda Meany for season 6.
Wow.
There's not really much to hail on her as a personality. We didn't really even see much of that.
Then we've got someone who's plus size like me. And unlike me, who's from the north, this person is from the south.
Kimmy.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go 360.
I might try to get her on, guys. I know she, like, when Kim gave her Facebook post out, like, she reacted. So I would love to get Kimmy on if you guys would like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, there. I should do that right now. All right, go ahead. How many do you have left?
Ultra's looking uncomfortable.
How much do you have left?
I'm kidding. Okay. Oh yeah, we've got Flynn's season 7 obsession for some reason. Scott Hawley from season 7.
What do you mean obsession? Like my like for the season?
No. I mean, I meant, like, I noticed you dunk on Scott. Like, out of all the pre-gift contestants, you dunk on Scott a lot
of people do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no more than any other person I feel, but okay.
Okay. The only person I know who likes him is Eternal Opossum, but it kind of sounds like he enjoyed him on, like, an ironic level. I think.
No, don't worry. I enjoyed him too in that sense. But what I'm trying to say here, there's a lot of content coming from Flynn about Scott.
It's 2 hours, guys. I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so 364th place, we've got another Scott, except this one flamed out much sooner.
Tavon. That's Tavon.
Yeah, Tavon from season 10.
Oh, you mean executive shit? Okay, I would say like another guy named Scott because.
And then we've got 363rd place. We've got a man who I guess has small boy syndrome downstairs. Craig from season 4.
Thanks.
Kind of reminds me of Chino, except
he doesn't know percentages. That's all we need.
Again, he's a lot more pathetic than unlikable, but yeah.
Then we've got somebody who. Fudge, what the hell's going on with my fucking phone? Yeah, so then we've got somebody who was a hero in their first 2 episodes, but then became more and more unlikable. Yeah, Zach, season 11. Then we've got somebody who
remarkable how unlikable he becomes so fast.
Yeah, then there's a lot of people dislike this person. I thought this person was funny as hell. I like this person. I didn't dislike them. And I'm totally on her side when it came to the whole feud with their team and Christina, season 15, Jackie Few.
Okay, look, I've made a video about her as well and her feud with Kristen, and while she's interesting and has a couple funny moments, objectively not a very good person.
No, let me rephrase. I meant because with the Kristen, that was bad. I agree. But what I meant to say is with Christina, the whole fucking list thing, I was like, take the joke, guys. Like,
I mean, I know it's funny, but at the same time, it's like time and place. Come on.
Fine. Okay. Next up, we've got somebody who had a good run until they quit. Joy from season 12.
I don't think people hate her all that much until they realize, wait a minute, she was kind of one of the main people who got Rochelle nominated so unjustly.
Yeah, and let's not talk about how over the top she was. I mean, I know that she, that's the thing. She flops the first service, and then it gets really over the top about how. I get it. Nicole didn't care, but still, I felt she was a bit over the top. Then I gotta acknowledge it. If I'm gonna criticize Flynn for dunking on Scott too much, I admit I've dunked on this person more than anybody has dunked on Elise. That goes to Sabrina from season 8.
I do agree. I don't like Sabrina myself, and it's not even for being a bitchy character. I can get behind that. I just don't like when she gets all street because she can't pull it off.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna bet. I've said it before. If I see Sabrina ever come back for Heroes versus Villains, I think she's actually gonna be much more likable.
Hopefully.
Yep. 358th place. We've got the only other Sabrina to compete in the franchise, and I'm starting to wonder if people confused her with the other Sabrina, and that's why they voted for this one. But here we go. We've got Sabrina Gresset.
Wouldn't surprise me because she's not that bad personality.
Yeah, and then the last one, the one who got like 164th last season, and now all of a sudden they're getting 357th place. We've got Brian Santos from season 13.
What a bizarre one to end off of. That's funny.
That is kind of okay. Not that I love the guy. In fact, there's probably a fair bit to dislike, but he ain't like he's not even, like Steve's not even in here. How is he lower than Steve? Also, kind of obvious question, even though I'm not the one making this ranking, but Elise is not here at all. That is
all right. Well, because remember, I'm not going to say who. But there are two people. They could be Steve. They could be Elise. They could be anybody else. There are two people that were immune this week because they were part of states that, they were saved by immunity this week. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Poor am, dude. I feel bad. I might get tired and hungry and all that shit. All right, yeah. So we're there. We're good now, right? Right, Jim?
Now we're finished. Now, Flynn, you could post my 2 links that I sent you on Discord, or I'll send in the private chat. Fuck it.
Sure, I'll do that for you.
Because now, guys, you're going to go for week 2. It's the same process. Pick 15 states or more to save, and then you also have to pick. You have to break it, dude. Like it's 2 separate links.
Dude, don't tell me what to do. No, does everyone know that? Don't tell me what I can't do. Bonus points if you know that.
Dude, you have to break the links, otherwise we're gonna get an error. Anyway, so the point being is we have you have to pick at least 15 states to save and pick at least 25.
I don't know how to do that, but okay.
Oh no, you do okay. You do okay, perfect. There you go. You did it. 1 link and then dude, you have to do it before the HTTPS. Okay.
They can click the link. Like I see the link in the chat here. They'll be able to
go to Ruby's or Jem's YouTube and vote so we can do this all.
There we go. I got you. I sent it again in the private chat.
Anyway, okay, fine. All right.
Tiffany also, I'm amazed didn't make it. Either of them, honestly. Suzanne, I don't think she's that bad. Like Suzanne's more kiddish sister, kind of annoying to me than.
There you go. This one here. The one at 11:01 p.m. is perfect.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
All righty, guys. So,
all right, so that's it. I'll try to go for at least 30 chefs to eliminate, guys. Try to go for at least 15 states to save, and around 25 will go home this week. Something like that.
Okay, so after almost 2 damn hours, it was fun, but man, I got hungry there at the end there. After 2 hours almost, we are done with an all-time iconic stream. It was so fun to have Pat and Kim on. No events, they absolutely carried us. But you know what? We're here in the chat, stay with us throughout. Any other final thoughts, guys? Like I already said, be sure to, as usual, check out my second boot ranking this week. And yeah, any final thoughts or comments you guys have? Yeah, free flint. I'm hungry. So
I'll be posting a couple of videos this weekend that are again compilation videos because I'm a bit too burnt out right now to do a commentary video. But I will do a commentary video ranking. This is it. I'm finally gonna put it out, ranking every single first cycle boot. Which will include Maddie and Carlos now that they're out. Not this Saturday, but the Saturday after.
All righty.
So if they were a boot within the first proper elimination episode.
That's it.
Right. Yeah, guys, of course, be sure to check out Bradley next week. That is absolutely the plan for next week. And until then, of course, check out Gumball's rankings. And when is that going to be out? Monday, right, Gumball?
I think they're going to come out either Tuesday or Wednesday because I'm also covering Survivor and the Amazing Race. So I think probably Tuesday or Wednesday is probably the day that the HK ranking will have to come out.
Yeah. So yeah, guys,
who wants to talk about that Fire Survivor 49 intro?
Be sure to check out all 3 of our channels. Be sure to check out Join My Membership as well to watch the second boot video now if you want to, and 20 other plus videos. And until next week, have a good one, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.